today I got into a really nasty mindset. So I'm trying to keep busy by making soap. I don't know if honestly there's something wrong with me because I tend to get really negative about life in general, especially like after watching news. So I try to avoid pretty much all of social media because mentally I'm not prepared for it. There's already so much stuff going on out there, and like I already know that bad things are happening, but to be reading up on them, I don't know. So instead I'm just doing what makes me happy. What I seriously love doing. And I'm not wearing any gloves because I actually ran out and I'm waiting on an order, so bear with me on that one. So I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I know it's Thursday. Usually it's still, a weekday, so most people work. I don't. I only work 3 days out of the week. And the other 4 days, I pretty much spend it just cleaning, cooking, doing laundry, and making soap. So I hope you enjoy that. My husband was just telling me that I guess there was a case in the news. Ooh, I need a mask for this. I need a mask. Let me get a mask. Okay. Back. We gotta be careful with this because the powder really just flies everywhere. So anyways, yeah, I had to leave the room because usually I can inhale that even through my mask. So I know those freaking paper masks don't work for the virus because I cannot use them for the dust particles that come out of here. Just so you know. Anyways, let's do. So anyways, there was I guess a detective that was closing in on a child sex trafficking ring, and they came and executed him. It's just so sad to know that these people dedicate their lives to save others, and to the evil one, they're an annoyance. There's someone that's in their way of continuing to do business that way. It's just really sad that people don't really care about human life and more about money. Now I'm gonna go warm this up so it melts. I'll be back. My stuff is already melted. As you can see, it looks like snot. Let's put this away for now. Usually I just kind of mix it a little bit more until it cools down, because you can't put preservative on this if it's above a certain temperature. Otherwise it'll render it useless. So I like to just keep mixing it until it cools down. This one, because it's going to be a shampoo, kind of made my own recipe for this one. I'm not gonna put fragrance or pigments because this is specially made for people with sensitive skin, sensitive scalps, and I really like it because I've been using it on myself and it's been leaving my hair really soft. So hopefully I can see some growth, but shit, I'll take the softness, because there's hardly any shampoos out there that make my hair, that don't strip my hair and, you know, stays moisturized, and it actually cleans and doesn't irritate my scalp, because I have scalp eczema. So there's not a whole lot of things that I can use, and that's why I started making my own soaps and shampoos, because I figured if it can help me, hopefully it can help other people out there too. And I check my temperature. It's 132 Fahrenheit, so I'm gonna wait until it drops to at least 120, 115, and that's when I'm going to add my preservative. It's really upsetting to know that kidnappings have been going on since the beginning of time. I remember being a kid and my mom always telling me, you know, to be careful, because there were people out there with giant baskets, you know, over their shoulders, that supposedly they would just, you know, they saw a kid they liked, they would just scoop him up and throw him in the basket and run off. You know, kids have been monetized on for a very long time. Not just kids. I mean, I'm sure adults, women, men, you know, also. But it hits home when I hear it's about a kid. Of course, I don't want adults getting kidnapped either, but it's just, as a mother, whenever I hear that something happened to a child, it's a trigger for me, and it makes me just, you know, want to go and hug my kids, because I'm afraid for them. I'm afraid of all these school shootings. I'm afraid of all these kidnappings. I'm afraid of, you know, just bad influences. I'm afraid. And I didn't think growing up and becoming a mother would be this scary. But here we are. Okay, now this has cooled down quite a bit. You can see it's hardened a little bit, and that's okay. That was because of the wax that I added. And now we're gonna add the preservative. I'm not even, well, I guess we can check the temperature. Yes, it's 116, so we're good. This is kind of like a new recipe that I made. I got the whip soap recipe. I tweaked it to make it my own, and that same recipe I tweaked it to make it into a shampoo. And I seriously love doing this stuff, man. I'm actually thinking of taking some chemistry classes just so that I can educate myself a bit more on my ingredients, on my chemicals. Okay. This one I'm just gonna whip it. We're not gonna add anything fancy to it. I have my blender. This is specifically for soap, okay? This is not allowed to go in the kitchen. God forbid I make some soap tasting cupcakes. Nope. This is gonna be hard to whip because of the wax, but we'll do our best. Now the most difficult part. Piping it. Man, the first time that I piped any soap or anything actually, that's a freaking nightmare. I had zero clue about how to put any ingredients, creams, you know, inside a piping bag. So I used to just kind of stuff them. Like I would just grab the bag. I used to try to just hold it open this way and kind of like, you know, scoop it in there. Terrible mistake. But you know, that's pretty much life. You live and you learn. Little by little, I started learning different methods of piping, of loading or stuffing the contents in the bag. That cost me a lot of product being wasted. What's this? I wasted a lot of product because sometimes I would overstuff it and it would overflow out through the top, and I would just, it was a complete mess, guys. It was a mess, but I've gotten better. You can see it's pretty stiff. It's not as creamy as the whipped soaps, the body soaps. This has extra ingredients and it makes it kind of hard a little bit sometimes. So I'm probably gonna have to separate this into two bags, because I don't want to make a mess. I've already done enough of that. I just close it from one end and I leave it open at the bottom. That's just me. And I set it aside. It's still kind of warm. I can't let this one cool down too much because then it gets really hard to pipe it in. Whereas the whip soap, regular whip soap, it's not that much of a hassle if it cools down on me because it stays pretty creamy. I never thought I'd be here doing this. I've always been more into art. Like I love drawing, I love painting, I love reading, and I love writing too. Whenever people I remember back then when people used to they needed to write a letter. Yeah, it's weird because some people have a really hard time saying what they feel. And I've never really had a problem with that, but I do get shy at first. Like, I am opinionated, but I try to be respectful about it. I don't like to be rude, just like I don't like other people being rude to me. But I do understand that, you know, the world does not revolve around me, and sometimes you just gotta stop and listen, because what you think is, it's only in your head. Okay. I like to get as much out as I can because I don't like to waste. Now for this one, I'm just gonna cut the bottom. Probably that much. And we're gonna put it in containers. Just gonna stuff it in there. As you can see, I kind of squeeze it in a little bit so it starts going down to the tip. See? Then I bring out my little containers. And this specific shipment that I got, some containers are weird, like the form. They're not rounded out. They're more oval. See, like this one. I don't know if you can see. But this one's a little more oval and this one's a little bit more round. And it's such a bitch to put the lid on because it's old. Let's see, maybe we only need 6. We'll see. And I do weight them just to try to get the same amount on each one. Come on. Yeah. So I should probably, you know what? I'm gonna bring you closer. Much better. So now you get to see a close-up of the piping process. See, this one's more stiff. Even moves the container around. Whereas my regular soap, whip soap, doesn't do that. So that's 160. Let's try to do 170. Yeah. Then I just have this tiny bit. I'm actually gonna put that in a sample jar. I got these little containers from Uline, so we're gonna put them in little sample jars so people can try it. Oh shoot, you know what? I forgot to change the tar. Probably only gonna have enough for one. And there it is, the whip soap and the little sample ones. These are so cute, man. These sample jars are really cute. That's why I bought them, because I'm always left with extra that won't complete an entire jar. And for this one, I'm probably just gonna save it until I make a new batch and add to it. And as far as my label, I buy this roll of labels from Uline, and it's like 1,000 labels for about 25 bucks. They're cheap. It's just the shipping what kills me. And I write them myself. I don't know, I just enjoy enjoy writing on them. Now we're gonna label this one. This is honestly like therapy for me. Whenever I don't feel good, I come in here and I make soap. That's honestly my favorite thing to do. And there you go. That's it. That's it for this video. Didn't really know what to talk about. I know I have a lot of things to talk about, but sometimes I just don't know how to begin or what to talk about to a camera. It was really hard. I don't know how those get ready with me, chit chat people, I don't know how they do it, but I'll keep trying. Well, Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, bye bye.